jump right into this thing and start playing the game. So, like I said, I'm going to let this go through one more time. I'm sure some of you have been here since the beginning and are sick of looking at this, but I thank you for sticking around with me. It is appreciated. And we'll jump right into introductions. So enjoy the intro video for the 100th time. All right, introduction time. This is Judge Amuro. I am a huge fan of Gundam. This is my first live stream on Twitch, and today is going to be episode 1 of SD Gundam G Generations Genesis. I want to essentially talk a little bit about what kind of happened today. With this stream, a lot of new games are actually, they have a block for streaming on it, and this happens to be one of them. I am playing this game on a PS5, and apparently there are some features that have been embedded to where you can't SD Gundam G Generations Genesis. Title screen, of course. This game is a Japanese import, but because of how the local consoles, when it comes to like PlayStation and whatnot, you're actually able to play a lot of the Japanese games. And luckily for us, this has English subtitles, so we don't have to go through, you know, extra time learning Japanese and symbols and whatnot. So let's get right into this. So circle is your action button if you want to, you know, go to the next screen and whatnot, and X is the back button, because everything again in Japan is kind of reversed from what we usually do. Over here, configuration real quick, just so everyone can see, right? This is just your basic stuff when you're actually in battle. You can choose your battle animations to be either circle or square, attack judgment off, auto target selection off, because this game is a real-time strategy game, and once we get into a little bit more of the gameplay, you'll see some of this stuff. This is definitely not like a hack and slash. You know, most people associate Gundam games with that. This series alone, the SD Gundam Generation series, has been way back coming up to this point. These are very popular games. Again, simplified battle. The battles animation will be shorter. I'm going to keep it on normal for everybody because I want you all to essentially see like what's going on with this game, which it's going to extend a little bit of time on it, but if you guys are cool with it, I'm definitely cool. Move animation, again, we're going to go right back to normal just so you guys can see the actual layout of the game and how you're able to move from square to square. We're not going to do auto change, we're just going to leave it just like that. We'll leave help on for those who haven't really seen the game to get a kind of a better concept of like what you should be doing in between phases. We're just going to leave that just like that. We'll show our area. Camera position, I don't really go outside of normal, and you guys will probably see why in a few seconds here once we get into it. Simplified stats, that's fine. Pre-battle information, we can do that as well. So those are your basic settings for this game. We're going to go over to controls real quick so you all can see how you're able to move and whatnot. Left stick, right, that's going to be your cursor movement. I definitely would just leave it just like this. Anything movement related, this game is not that hard to essentially get used to once you kind of go through like the first couple battles. If you haven't played a game like this before, I would just say we're going to leave all this stuff the same. Okay, go over to sound. Again, if we want to crank the sound up, voiceovers, right? And as you guys can hear, we have Japanese voice acting in this, and then sound effect. I'm just going to kind of keep this all at 2 because I've essentially bumped everything up on my end. So we're going to get right out of this. You guys know what this is. We're going to save our changes. And then we're going to start the game finally. I do have a previous load save on this because I have been kind of dabbling in some of the past games that I essentially grew up on, or anything that's Gundam related recently. But for everyone in the channel, we're going to start a new game, start a new journey. Alright, so this is going to be your main home menu. And we're going to go through a little bit of this. This is going to be definitely a longer episode because those who are watching right now that haven't really played the game want to be pretty in depth with what you're going to be looking at. Because when I first started playing this, this is the first SD Gundam game that I've played. And it was pretty complicated at first, at least for somebody like me that doesn't usually play like RTSs, real-time strategy games. So main stages we'll get to in a few seconds, because that's essentially like our main storylines. Just so everyone's aware too, the main stages are based on the UC universe, which is Universal Century. It starts right at the beginning of the One-Year War with Amiral Ray, 0079, and you work your way through all the way up to Gundam Unicorn, actually. So there is quite a bit of content and quite a bit of time that you can invest playing this game. Organization, click on that for everybody. Okay, management, right? Manage your forces on the organization screen. This covers adding captured units to your ranks, as well as unit production, development, design, and exchange. You can also try your hand at creating, scouting, and training characters, which I'm going to show every single one of you what this is all about. Form groups. You can form a maximum of 4 groups, combine your favorite characters and units to create a colorful, unique dream team. These are the standard characters that you're going to end up starting out with. From what I've seen so far in the couple SD Gundam games that I played, a lot of these essentially like non-main characters, like specifically SD Gundam generation characters, you're going to see a lot of familiar faces throughout here. So our master is usually, what I do is, and we'll go to stats and whatnot, your master character is going to definitely be like your ace pilot or your new type. Anyone that has like high stats and whatnot, especially around the command stat, because this is your beast. And everyone, essentially your master, everyone that's within your teams, which you can have a maximum of 2 teams with your warships if you choose to go to that route, everyone is essentially, you're able to use your skills, different things like that. Your master's range, which this is where the command feature comes in. If you need to heal a character or whatnot, and you have an amazing like command feature that's on your master character, you're going to be able to like help out your other allies that are on your team and get them to where they need to go. Let's just click on Goat Logan real quick. All right, and we're gonna click on, we'll just click on train. So the train screen is going to show you all their base stats that you have so far. Command, like I said, we can just kind of go through this real quick. Expand the captain's group. If you guys are reading the scrolling text where it says help, expand the captain's group area and the master and leader's command area, which essentially, like I was saying before, if you kind of pump all your ace points into that, their command area where they can help everyone out, essentially, it's going to grow, and then you're not having to worry about being on one side of the map and the next to try to help somebody out. Your range, a perimeter for pilots and captains. It boosts the accuracy of the unit's range weapons, and you allocate your ace points with the directional buttons, left and right. Melee, a perimeter for pilots and captains, boosts the accuracy of the unit's melee weapons. Again, you allocate the ace pilot points, left and right. Parameter for pilots and captains reduces damage to the units received, right? Defense. Reaction for pilots and captains grants unit for better evasion, which in this game, once you get to a certain point, I mean, this is my personal opinion on it, you're not going to really have to pump too much into reaction, because a lot of the mobile suits later on are extremely like well-rounded when it comes to a lot of different stats. So like as of right now, personally, I'm probably not going to dump a lot of the stuff into reaction, and you'll see why eventually. And Awaken, boost accuracy for Psycom weapons. Awaken, which is like when you get to a certain phase, 1 or greater, firing chances for vigor. And vigor is built through essentially taking down units. You're also dodging, so on and so forth. And the higher your vigor, the more damage that you're going to do in between turns and whatnot. So essentially, with the exception of command like range, melee, defense, reaction, awaken, that's all based on your mobile suit pilot skills. So hypothetically speaking, if you're piloting the RX-7082 Gundam, you're going to want to make sure range, melee, defense, reaction, and awaken is up, because it's going to help your mobile suit status, right? Now, support, comms, navigation, maintenance, and charm. This is if you're certain, what can I say here? You're certain crew member of your ship. This is where all these stats are going to come in, right? Command's always going to be there, and I'll show you that in a few seconds when it comes to the actual like ship that we have starting off with. But support. Deputy Captain, which is right below the Captain status, enhances the Captain's stats during battle. Self-explanatory. Comms. Boosts the accuracy of the warship's weapons, right? So the warships. Navigation. The warship evades enemies more easily. Maintenance. Units returning to the warship recover more HP, which you're going to see throughout battle that if you are getting low on HP and you need to heal, you're going to have to go back to the ship, take a little nap, go back out, and fight your business. Do whatever you got to do. Charm. All characters within the guest group gain more experience. Self-explanatory. So you want that too. You want a guest with huge charm, because that's going to make things in this game so much easier, especially when you do like warship attacks. And you're going to, like I said, again, we're going to go through a lot of this stuff when it comes to this game. Expertise. Allocate points, so far and so forth. Let's see here. We're going to take a look at what this is, right? So our expertise data, when master, you recover 10% of your HP every single turn, which you're already mastered. There's nothing else you could potentially do. If you are not mastered, you're going to see all these little lines right here, and then you're going to have to utilize ace points to do that. So right now, every character is at level 1, so you're not going to really have any other abilities at this point. But once we get up a few more levels, I'll come back and we'll take a look at what potentially we can swap out and whatnot. No ability, no ability. Okay, here we go. Pilot skills. Level 1 characters start with a single skill, but a maximum of 3 skills can be learned as the character progresses. Note, the only one skill can be used at a time in actual combat. Select a skill-capable character and then command ranging from master, warship, and leader to view all of his or her usable skills. Once there, you can select and set a skill. Again, self-recovery. The unit using this skill recovers 100% of HP, which is awesome. Unfortunately, a lot of these skills you can only use once per turn, so you got to utilize that as much as possible. Let's go to mobile suit stats real quick, and we can kind of break down what's going on with this. Let's see here. Modify. Nope. Triangle. I do apologize. It's been a little bit since I played this. Okay, so Phoenix Zero, which is, again, like one of these mobile suits that were essentially made around this game. And you're going to see a lot of these kind of mobile suits at the beginning of any type of SD generation game. Alright, Beam Saber, power 3200, right? So that's a melee attack. with your beam saber. And the 1-1 ratio is wherever you are, whether it's in front of you, behind you, left side of you, or right side of you, that's your range for the beam saber. So you can only attack with one block. Beam rifle, 2 to 4 range, and that's 3,500 power. Again, range weapons. Most of these guys start off with a beam rifle if it's anything kind of associated with a Gundam. Shoulder missile pods, another range weapon, 3 to 5 for blocks, 3,800 power. Mega beam cannon, which is an awesome weapon, 4 to 6 range, 4,200. Now, the bigger the power usually goes as well, the more energy that is actually going to drain from your mobile suit. And as you can see to the right, you have all your stats that are essentially based around this mobile suit. So we'll start at the top left hand corner here underneath the name. That's the level of the actual mobile suit at this current time. And because we're starting a new game, you're level 1. You're starting bare bones right at the bottom. You're going to hit the ground running. To the right of it, it's going to show you, because you're going to be playing in different atmospheres throughout the game. So space, you're rank B, which is average essentially in this game. Mid-air combat, because this mobile suit can actually hover. So there's going to be some battles where you're not going to necessarily be on the ground, but you'll be quote unquote in the clouds, we'll say, and you'll be able to hover outside of your warship and fight enemies that way. Land, you're strictly on the ground, nothing to do with space, you're not floating, you're just essentially walking with your legs. Water, you're not going to be doing anything in, of course. And then undersea, see how the rank drops a little bit? That means you're not going to be able to move as much if you happen to be submerged underneath the water. So you're rank C with that for the Phoenix Zero. HP 10,000, I want to say that's pretty average starting off mobile suit, unless it's something definitely like in the mass production stage or early ages, like throughout the 1 year war. Attack 150, defense 150, mobility, how much you can essentially move, 150, move 6 spots, which is pretty cool. As you can see too, the bars are, see where the silver and white kind of meet the black. You're not there. You're gonna have to do a lot of training in this game if you plan on keeping the Phoenix Zero, which personally I don't think I'm gonna do that in this run. That would be kind of a cool concept, I guess, to get all the way up to level 99 with one of these guys. So yeah, energy 90. Energy, definitely want to make sure you're watching out for when you're in battle, because sometimes you're going to think going into the next turn that you're going to be okay, and you're really not. And honestly, sometimes it's just better to play it safe. You either use a skill from a master or a leader or one of your warship captains, or just go back to base, take a little nap for a turn, go back out. You're going to be okay. Alright, so that's the stats for the Phoenix Zero. We're going to back out, which is X in this game. We already did that. Just quick rundown with the Tornado Gundam. And then we'll get into some other characters, right? Tornado Gundam, again, you got a beam saber, arm Gatling gun, diffuse beam cannon, beam rifle, best weapon again, right? Diffuse beam cannon, 3,800. And this one's a little bit more on the lower end, I want to say, compared to Phoenix Zero. Space B, mid-air B, land B, undersea C. And we didn't even hit the 10,000 mark for HP. And again, our stats are really low. 130, 130, 130 for attack, defense, and mobility. And then 5 for our movement, which is how many blocks we can essentially use per turn. And then energy at 88. Everyone, I appreciate you sticking around. I know that I'm kind of just regurgitating what you're seeing at this point. but I want to make sure that those who have never seen this game can just kind of see what's going on with stats and whatnot. Let's see. Capi. Alright, level 1. Again, if you press triangle on the characters or the mobile suits, you're going to be able to just see their direct stats. She has teamwork, and if we go back real quick, we can do this actually. Skills, and then you guys can see train, excuse me about, I didn't mean to do that. And then teamwork. When the leader and all allied units in the lead area gain 10 attack and 10 defense, which is pretty cool. So if you're fighting in a certain area with other people, and any character that has teamwork on it and is the leader, which means that they're at the top of the team, and you'll see in the warship settings where it says leader, they're gonna get a constant increase of 10 attack and 10 defense. And as you guys and gals can see, level 1 is just the beginning. So if you pump all your ace points into teamwork, that number is actually going to go up, and you're going to see a dramatic difference with people that are fighting within the leader's range. Alright, command. Again, right, so if you have leaders or masters, warship, captains, command is definitely a must. You want that. You want to be able to reach your people, help them out with skills, your range, melee, defense, reaction, awaken. I don't really want to continue to go through a lot of this different stuff. If you want to see what pilots' crew stats are, which are usually trash, hate to say it, I mean, that's a dramatic drop. So like someone like Capi here, I would not put her on a warship whatsoever. It's dirt. Go back. Azalea. Take a look at her real quick. So again, right, so we see our command feature, it's low. We don't want to put her in the top spot because her command skill isn't going to be beneficial for all the other people that are within our squad group or on our team. So we want to make sure that she's just strictly a pilot. She has a huge defense, like to start off with, which is pretty cool. 200 is pretty high for that. And again, if we keep looking at the stats and stuff for the crew, not that great. And then just fighting spirit, vigor rises more easily, which means anytime she dodges, anytime she destroys a mobile suit, her vigor goes up, and when the vigor rises, so does your attack. And then he has, again, his command's a little bit more higher. This guy is pretty much like a base character, average across the board. He does have Awaken, which you all have to know, like, every character that you have doesn't usually have Awaken. It's mostly, I want to say, based around new types and cyber new types in the game. So don't get used to like certain pilots. Like I'm just going to use Rambaral for example. He's a brute. He's an awesome pilot, but he's not a new type. So he's going to have Awaken at 0. You have the option with ace points to increase those stats. Of course, you could potentially turn a Rambaral into a new type. That's totally up to you with how you want to play through the game. And then again, I just want to show you guys the stats. We're starting off with cooperation. Support attacks deal 10% more damage. So if you're in battle and you're close enough to another ally, there is going to be a potential that you can help your ally out in battle by using either a ranged attack or a melee attack. So because he has cooperation on him, anytime he helps another ally out, 10% more damage, which is great. especially in the beginning. You're gonna want to utilize your units as a whole in a group to do group attacks essentially, because you just need to do it. We're just not there yet. We don't have enough capital, first off, which is the currency in the game, and we just don't have enough people and mobile suits. So that is awesome. All right, let's take a look at, this is the base warship from what I've seen too, at least from the games that I've played. The carrier base. Just want to show everybody this. We're going to go through the stats really quick with the crew, and then honestly, I want to finish up the menu and get through at least one of the missions with everybody tonight. So if you are going to stay up for a little bit, it's going to be one hell of a ride, I promise you, and I can't wait to do this. So let's take a look at the carrier base. Level 1, of course, anti-air attack, missile barrage, and bombardment. Space B, mid-air B. What you want in this game, in my personal opinion, are warships that have Space B and mid-air B on it. Everything else, I mean, you can utilize one of your teams for a actual space warship. I've never done that because I just feel like a lot of the warships that are specifically space and midair, which essentially means you can go to space, you can go to land, you can hover above water, you can go in the sky, you know, just like the Phoenix Zero there. I want that kind of ship, essentially. Teams as well, right? So because we're at the beginning of the game, the team numbers right here are based on how many crew teams you can have. So because this is the base model, we can only have one crew and a master. So your crew, essentially with the leaders 4, and then the master will make 5 units can go on this warship right now. And that's it. Which kind of stinks at first, and we're gonna have to really like pound out some capital so that we can start getting some of the other warships and whatnot. And luckily for us, in one of the first couple stages, we're able to get a awesome one. And I'm not gonna, you know, do a little spoiler alert or anything like that as of right now. So we'll find out in a little bit. Attack 170, defense 150, mobility 100, and then you can move 5 with that. Captain, right? Luna. We don't want pilot stats, essentially. I mean, we can go here. See how the command is +10? It's because she's a leader, and she's in the leader role. Captain role, so that's a boost on her end. Crew stats kind of differ a little bit. I mean, they both crew and pilot stats are beneficial, I want to say, when it comes to certain stuff, but her being in the leader role and having 156 with that +10, that's okay at the beginning. Deputy captain. Support. So that's going to be your that's going to be the stat that you're going to want your deputy captains to have. It's definitely the support. And it seems like because these guys are essentially based around where they need to go in the game, and you're just starting off with it, you're going to see that +10. Let me go back to Luna real quick because I want to see what she has for skill and show everybody that. So leadership, right? Command +10. That's why she's got that +10 stat. So the higher the leadership stat, the more that number is going to rise. And we can do the same with him. Operations staff, again, right? Support +10, same scenario. Comms, Juzo, right? Comms. Information analysis, I'm not going to go to that extent. It's literally the same thing. So anyone that has information analysis is going to get +10 to comms. Navigation, wrestle. Navigation technology, plain and simple, right? plus 10 to navigation. Maintenance. Maintenance, again, mechanic sense, plus 10 to maintenance. And then your guess, which charm, charisma, charm, plus 10, 150. So if anybody wants to throw something in the chat, by all means, I can answer some questions right now if anybody needs to, because I've been kind of blowing through this, I want to say, for the most part. Okay, I'm going to keep going through manage units and then produce. So to produce units, right, it's literally what it means. You go in here, MS, MA, mobile suit, mobile armor. You can produce warships if you have enough capital. Your SFS, which is what they glide on, whether it's in space or on the ground. In this game, you actually have to buy both, unfortunately. I know in the newer one, which I won't, again, I'm not going to have any spoilers and stuff on the channel just in case a lot of us haven't played these games, but you don't need to buy two. You only have to buy one because the stats aren't necessarily based just for space or just for land. And then modifications, essentially, if you can actually modify your mobile suit with 3 modifications. Let's just go in here real quick. Units on your production list can be acquired in exchange for capital. You can add this to the list by designing or developing units. You can choose between low cost, high cost, which is going to be based around the capital cost. These guys, honestly, you're going to be fighting some of this stuff at the beginning. I personally, unless you're desperate, you know, I wouldn't waste your capital on this stuff because you're going to literally level up enough to where you can upgrade your mobile suits and get to the next level with it. Just want to show you all of this as well. So if you press triangle on a unit, you're going to go to the stats screen, right? And if you see in the scrolling part down here, check development plan. So what this is if your unit gets to these levels, you can change it, or you can develop it into another, tank, helicopter, mobile suit, what have you. So that's pretty cool. Again, I think at the beginning we have some pretty good mobile suits as of right now to get you through a lot of different stuff in the game. So really hold on to that capital as much as possible and try to save it, because the first thing essentially I'm going to do, which is going to be kind of fast forward here a little bit, is we're going to get another warship so we can start developing another team. And I'll show you guys why once we get to our first stage here. You can do the development plan a couple times, I want to say, but unfortunately you can only do it as if you've already produced what is here. So we've already produced the saberfish, I guess, and we have a profile for it. You can go into that, even if we don't have this yet, you can still go into the stats, check again, and see what's going on in the future here. And you can only do it twice, unfortunately, but it's still a really good way to kind of plan out how you're going to be expending your experience for all these different types of mobile suits. And then, you can plan out where you want to be after a few different levels when it comes to leveling up. We'll just scroll through here real quick. Zanny, Tornado, Zanny. So if anyone doesn't know what the Zanny is, I think it was from 8th MS team at the beginning. This is what kind of an earlier gym style was. So I thought that was cool. They're bringing that into the game. Tornado. So this is all we have right now, which is not a lot, to be honest with you. There are so many mobile suits in this game, it's actually pretty insane. So let's back out of here. We'll go into our warship. this is what we have to offer now, right? And this is what I was explaining before about wanting to have a warship with midair and space, essentially. You want to just be able to hover, be able to go on land, be able to go in space. Land and water, that's great for some stages, but if you have to go in space, it's not happening. You got a Salamis, strictly space. Can't go on the ground. Musai, strictly space. Can't go on the ground. And as you can see too, all these only have one teams, unfortunately, until we get to the Medea. This is only mid-air, so this means, yes, it can go on the ground and it could be in the sky, but it cannot go outside of the Earth's atmosphere. It doesn't function that way. But the perk of it is you got two teams on it. Save your money, save your capital. Don't buy those. And I just wanted to show you the FSF real quick. So midair is strictly for ground, right? So if you have, oh, I apologize. So if you have a mobile suit that is mobility just stinks, its movement stinks, and you want to upgrade it, use one of these guys. Park it right outside the airship, have that mobile suit that kind of either doesn't belong on the ground and can actually go on the ground, which I just found that out recently, and I thought that was a really cool feature. And this was actually for me watching somebody else play this game. And so any space specific units, you can have one of these on your warship and they can actually glide on the ground with it, which I thought was kind of cool. This is kind of an upgraded one Dodai, 7,000 HP, 5,000. That's it. That's the only change. A couple more thousand, which is great. Most of the time, I don't think you really have to worry too much about the HP for these, because you're going to have a mobile suit on it and they're going to wreck house. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. What your main concern is with the SFS is making sure that you're able to utilize your mobile suits in every which way possible. Again, if you're a space specific mobile suit, you want to make sure you're on a mid-air ground Dodai so that you're able to fight on the ground even though you're technically not supposed to. Movement increase with the Dodai GA. Modified Dodai, right? Another one, mid-air. HP increase, movement increase, +7. That's pretty cool at first. Shackle, space. Base Jabber. Gedar. Base Jabber Federation. That one looks like it might be able to shoot something. Don't hold me to that. I didn't really get too involved with a lot of this stuff in some of the last playthroughs that I did with it. Xeon Remnant Base Jabber. You want mobility for these. You want to be able to go from one point of the map to the other. And if you're running out of energy and HP, you definitely want to make sure you're riding one of these bad boys. So I won't go through too much more of this. Modifications. Yeah. Junk parts. I guess if you want to experience something, if you're too high level. Okay. Output limiter unit. Attack +30. Max 250. So any type of modifications that you put on your mobile suits, your maximum amount, and I could be mistaken with this and I do apologize, but from my perspective on it, you can't go above 250. Right, so with 3 of these, you're not going to go above 250, so you should be good. But later on, when you get stronger modifications when it comes to the game and progressing and whatever, you're gonna have some stuff and it's gonna help you out quite a bit. So just keep that in mind when you're doing that. The armor, right? Alpha, defense 30, mobility for prototype booster pod, movement on SFS, capture white flag units within 3 tile range. Okay, so you're able to capture units on certain stages. And in my mind, there's two things you can do when you get to a stage, let's say, that has a lot of units. You can either capture them and collect the capital on it when you dismantle them at the end of each stage, or you can utilize it for experience, and you'll see like what ends up happening in the process of capturing mobile suits once we get into battle. But those are literally like kind of the two options that you have when it comes to that. Receive no experience while you equipped. Oh, never mind. We went back to junk parts. I do apologize. No, we do not want to purchase that. Alright, back to the main. Okay, so manage units. Develop, which essentially we kind of already went through when we were in the production screen of the mobile suits and the warships and whatnot. Again, you press triangle, you see what's going on, right? So once Phoenix Zero gets to level 2, it can actually turn into a Tornado Gundam. Would not recommend it because to me that's a step down. Anything black silhouette wise, that's stuff that we haven't seen yet, haven't produced, haven't even seen, which usually there's like a profile on mobile suits that you've seen in battle. You haven't seen it yet. So we want to work our way towards level 4 with Phoenix Zero and see what it has to offer. And we'll just do that for the Tornado Gundam real quick. And in the development screen, if you press circle, once the mobile suit isn't like kind of dark and dingy like this, if you press that, you're going to be able to develop it. And here we go. We have this screen right here. Any mobile suit or mobile armor unit raised to level 2 or higher can be developed, changing it into a different mobile suit or mobile armor. Performed at level 2, the resulting unit that will be relatively low specs. Developed at level 3 or higher will enable the creation of a high spec unit. Kind of like what I just said, right? So you're not going to have a Phoenix Zero go backwards to Tornado Gundam. We already have all the specs on it. We've already produced it. We want to go to the next level, which personally, if we already have Phoenix Zero, you might as well go the extra mile and go level 5, and then we'll see what this unit is once we get to that point. Design. Use 2 different mobile suits, mobile armor units to add a new mobile suit and mobile armor unit to the production list. So sometimes when we do development, or we capture units, or we might just have the same unit just kind of hanging out and stuff, there can be a combination between unit A and unit B, and it actually puts new mobile suits in the production lists for you to buy with capital. Not the best way to do it, because again, capital is pretty hard to get in this game most of the time. And just you know, for everyone that has stuck around tonight, we're just going to kind of play on easy for a little bit because we don't really have a lot going on. And then once we get to a certain point, maybe I'll just like pump up the volume a little bit, and we'll go to like a hard or extra, which is kind of a harder version of that. And exchange. Units on the mobile suit and mobile armor list will be exchanged with other units. So you get to a certain level, right? And you'll see these guys in these mobile suits. You won't see them like in their little silhouette. You get them up a couple levels, the game will actually just exchange a mobile suit for you with a little bit of capital, which might be like a cheaper way to go about doing it if you're looking to just kind of get like a powerhouse unit at the beginning. Again, based on how you want to play the game, save your capital. You know, really think about your choices in the game because it's going to directly affect your next mission. All right. Organization done. Manage characters. Really quick with this, these are all the characters that we have available for us as of right now, which are game specific characters. Mark Gilder, this guy. I'm not going to go through this whole list. There are so many characters, but at least they give you enough characters to essentially start off with, especially if our goal and probably the next 2 streams, I want to say, is to get another warship. You have to spend money on characters too. So like if we recruit, we're going to say Amuro Ray because this game's based on the UC series. You want to save your money for that new type. And unfortunately, the only way to do that is to deal with what we have available as of now. And then we'll go through our battles like accordingly. And it's going to be okay. We're going to have Amuro on our team probably in the next couple episodes, I want to say. Go back real quick. Again, you can also create a custom character in this game, which I never do. But if you feel like you want to do something along those lines, go right for it. It is here for you. On the customer character screen, you can create an entirely original character to add to your forces. Once you have fashioned a unique persona, test your creation on the battlefield. And then your asterisk with parentheses. When entering text, unsupported strings will be swapped with spaces. Just for the stream's sake, I'm going to make a character. And it's going to be Judge Amuro. Why not? So let's do character 1. We're going to make a new one. Custom character. We're going to type here. And let's do it. Oops. And this is why I don't play this game, because I don't even know how to type my name. Okay. So we want to go backwards. Here we go, everybody. I did it again. I did it again. All right. Here. We'll just judge, space, then Amuro. Boom. Let's go back. I am a male. You can be a female or male in the game, which is cool. And I'm not going to put my actual birthday down. So I do apologize for that. So we're just gonna pick a random day here. You know what? This is a special birthday to me. I'm going to do this one. And unknown blood type. Why not? And we can actually pick an ability and a skill, it looks like. So, sway, right? So we got range sense. Beam physical special range weapon energy consumption reduced by 20%, which is awesome. Like I said at the beginning, when your characters are like next to nothing, they don't have any energy, your mobile suits don't have that much energy. Consume right here, boom, done. I like that. That's good. The specified ally units final evasion becomes 100%. So this is one of the skills that you can only use one time. I want to say throughout the entire battle. I could be mistaken with that. So certain skills like this where essentially it's like you're not going to be touched, use it wisely. And then clothing, which I was wondering if we could change a little bit of this. Oh my god, that one's cool. That guy's cool too. Let's see who we're gonna pick. Oh, they got the Titans kind of thing. And then when the Yak guys and the Gogs from Jaburo, that guy wearing that. And that is the Black Tri-Stars. Xeon, of course. Wow, they have a lot of options. So that's pretty cool, everybody. I'm probably just going to be a little generic here. We'll go with that. You can do the voice. It's going to be in Japanese, so I hope it's kind of cool. Hold on a second. I think it just auto-picked that stuff for me. Let's see. I don't know about that one. That seems aggressive. I just feel like it's so... Alright, that one's a little more aggressive. That has so much power to it. I'm thinking 11, everybody. I want that power right from the gut. We're doing 11. Music. Oh, baby. This must be our music when we battle. So when we go through our actual battle scenes, this is what we'll be playing once we make contact with the enemy. It's gotta be powerful. And unfortunately, I'm a huge fan of the original Gundam, so I'm probably gonna pick one of these songs. That one seems cool. What was the first one? Yeah, everybody knows that. I think we're gonna do the last one again. There we go. And I'm gonna do this because I was just talking with somebody recently, and I think it would be a very cool motto to have here if I know how to do this properly. Alright, I felt the need to do that. Just another new type trying to make positive change. That's essentially what it's all about, every single one of you guys, you know that. Alright, that's our custom character. We're going to confirm right with start. Okay, that's fine. We're going to go right with it. Pickle. Yes, positivity. That's what we need. Definitely need that. How's everybody doing? Is everyone enjoying this so far? Again, I know there's only a couple of you, and I do appreciate you guys coming on here, watching me play this tonight. How's everybody doing tonight? Throw something in the chat. And then we'll go right to this afterwards. Just give me 1 second, everybody. Gotta wet my whistle a little bit. I've been talking for a really long time. One second, everybody. All right, everyone, I am back. Just needed to take a little break for a second. I'm going to type this in the chat. Maybe you guys will feel a little bit more comfortable if I do this. How's everyone doing tonight? Just one more sip of my drink and we'll continue on. All right, so we're kind of nearing the end of hopefully the home screen soon. I have gone into some pretty in-depth details with what is going on at this point. Scouted characters. Going to read the description, go into a little bit more detail with that, and then we'll continue on. Scouted characters can be enlisted into your forces for an amount of capital. Once enlisted, you can train them the same as anyone else in your forces. If you spot a character you like, don't hesitate to scout him or her right away. Self-explanatory. So each mission, you're going to have certain objectives to kind of conquer the battlefield with. And with some of those objectives, they're either mission specific objectives or actual like overall game objectives. So like if you unlock a certain mobile suit, you're probably going to get to pilot with them. Or if you do things in a certain order, then you're going to get a few extra characters for your forces. Again, once we get into the actual gameplay of this, we're definitely going to see what's going to go down. But as of right now, everyone's favorite, Haro. Am I right? That's cool. There was a game prior to this, and if any of you've played this so far, or if anyone's gonna like kind of watch this later on, they can correct me. There was a game. They did an English translation. It wasn't an actual English translation. I want to say it was World Tour or something like that. I do apologize if I'm getting that wrong. And these were like the gods of the game that you ended up having to fight. I don't want to say that's towards the end of one of the former games, but again, the generation games, they always bring back specific characters, which is great. But if you have this much capital at this point in the game, I mean, you want to really overkill it, buy one of these guys. All their stats are the same. It's all 200 across the board. She has a little bit more MP than everybody else, it looks like. But yeah, Haro, not even worth it. I'm glad they put him in the game because he's kind of one of those, you know, mascots to the series essentially. But I'm sorry, Haro, you're not joining our team today. Organization. Organize captures. Again, if we capture units, we get through the stage, we don't perish essentially on the battlefield, that's where they're going to end up. You have to physically go into this screen to do a couple different things. You can do secure the mobile suit, which will put that mobile suit within your ranks. You can dismantle it, and when you dismantle mobile suits or any type of parts, different things like that in the game, you get capital for it. You can do secure all. So if you have multiple units that you want to have to your ranks, secure all, or you can dismantle all and get that money, which we need it. List. Again, everything we have so far. Our list of mobile suits, mobile armors. This is going to be quick. One whopping warship we saw earlier. SFS, one of each, which is great to start off with. Characters. We already went through our list, and little Judge Amuro just chilling there. All base stats, 110. Modifications, nothing. So what we're going to do now is, because I did make that custom character, and just for, you know, shits and giggles, we'll say, let's throw him in the party. How's it going, my guy? Still doesn't have enough command points. I don't want to put him there. And we don't have a mobile suit for him. Well, here's what we'll do, everybody. We're going to put him back on standby for right now. And then once we get through like our first stage or whatever, maybe we can buy a mobile suit for him. Or me, I should say. Back to the main screen. Quest. So this is exactly what I was just talking about, everybody. Quest. Quests exist in a variety of areas. Completing them will unlock units, characters, and modifications, allowing you to scout or develop them as you like. There's plenty that will help you in your battles, so it's a good idea to take on as many quests as possible. Please do your quest. Do them. It's gonna be so amazing. There's so many of them. So we're at the top, right? Our boy, Amuro Ray, during the 1-year war, max out the get gauge of the unit Amuro pilots, which, it's the Gundam, right? And we're gonna go the other way with this because I want to show everybody how many there are. 215 of these. I am definitely not going to go through this one by one. We can scroll through, right? There's Char, of course, Lala, Sayla. The ones that are question marks, you have to go to the stage specifically. And then most of the time you have to complete the quest that's within that mission. So just real quick, we can just kind of, I'll do this real quick, just so everyone can see. A lot of these are question marks at this point. And you're going to be getting into a lot of like side stories and stuff too of 0079. I'm just going to stop right here just so we can kind of get into this. Gallery, unit profiles. This tells you how many units that you've done or you've gathered throughout the entire series, and it breaks it down by series too, so which is great. You're gonna be playing through so much of the UC universe. I've learned stuff just by playing this game alone. It's awesome. It truly is amazing. But we're gonna go through again, it's everything. Characters even. Go through this, right? We have Haro. We gotta click on show his profile. they're going to give you a brief description on like our little buddy here. And I'll just read this just for, you know, the fan's sake and the mascot sake of the actual series. A pet robot that Amuro Ray, a boy from Side 7, gave to his childhood friend Fraubro. It has a round body and moves via rolling, but yeah, I don't think so. Sorry, we're not taking those kind of promotions. I appreciate the offer though. But it can use its arms and legs to climb stairs. So it pops, see those little holes? It pops right out there. It's also capable of simple conversation as well as brainwave monitoring. It can be kept as a pet by Kika Kitamato and other Side 7 refugee orphans in the White Base. So yeah, get the units, come back, see what's going on. Totally up to you. It's at your disposal. Series profiles. A lot. Like, just wow. Please, just take the time. If you get the game, I'm actually at the end of this. I'm going to post a link to Amazon for those who have either a PS4 or PS5 and really want to play like the SD Gundam games. They're kind of hard to get. There's very few places you can actually buy them. Just stick with Amazon. Get the English sub version and you're going to be okay. User results. So here we go, everybody. Since we actually hit the new game button, I've been talking for 1 hour and 2 minutes. We've done absolutely nothing besides go through this, which is great. Everyone needs to see this, most definitely. We're going to click out of our user results. There is a tutorial. We're not going to go through it. And we can't play the credits because we haven't got that far yet. Configuration, which everything we just did prior to loading up the game here. Save and load. One of the best things and favorite things you're going to do in this game. You must save all the time. In battle, outside of battle, save, because you're going to get into certain situations where you're going to have to like really think about if you're going to be able to counter an enemy or not. And depending on what mobile suits you have or how your setup is, it's not going to always go your way, to be completely honest with you. Like, if you love a real challenge that's going to like make you think about your next move and stuff, this is definitely the place to be. And just for the sake, just so everyone can see, we are going to save right now. I haven't done any of this stuff, so you can share your game process between the PS4 and PS Vita because the game was produced on both the Vita and the PS4. However, we're playing on the PS5, and it's awesome. So that's... And you know what? I'm going to do this. We're going to start over again. I'm going to overwrite my save point. I actually played this when I was sick for like 3 or 4 days. I had a really bad, I was like bedridden almost. This is all I could do is play this game. So, all right, the moment of truth. Main stages. Stage selection. Select a series and then a stage to begin playing. Series are selectable at all times, allowing you to proceed in chronological order or jump to your favorite. The choice is entirely yours. That's what I love about this game. So many choices. But because I like structure, I'm going to be going in chronological order. Starting off with Mobile Suit Gundam. just real quick, right? We have Igloo, which was kind of a side series that came out on DVD. This was based on some of the stuff prior to 0079 and throughout it. Different crew entirely. Zeon, as you can see. Everybody knows the 8th MS team with Shiro. Cross Dimensions. This, again, it's kind of one of those side stories. I didn't really know a lot about this stuff until playing this game. This game really breaks down like what you would expect from like a Mobile Suit Gundam game, especially through the UC universe. Blue Destiny, I actually have this manga because I've wanted to read it just to kind of get a better idea of like what some other folks were going through the war. I can't wait to do that. That might be something I read to everybody in the future. Who knows? Another side story, Rise from the Ashes. Zeonic Front. If anyone checks this out later on or has played this game currently in the chat, this was on the PS2 a while ago, and I actually have this game. That was another kind of like strategy game that you were able to dive into, and it was strictly Zeon for most of the game. So I thought it was really cool that they implemented this into this game. So they took a game and they put like another game in it. I just thought that was kind of cool. Lost War Chronicles. I think they did like another side game of this as well. It never made it to the States. I want to say it was on the PS3. This was actually implemented in another PS2 game called Gundams Encounters in Space. And this was another story after you beat like the main story that you could dive into, which was cool. Missing Link was kind of, I want to say, still kind of part of the Lost War Chronicles and stuff. A lot of these are side story things in this game. Whoops, I do apologize for that. 0080, right? We got the Gundam Alex. Kind of like that one, especially the camphor in that game. In Between, right? Don't really know too much about that one, unfortunately. Stardust Memory, right? That's what's up. Zeta, honestly, it's hard. It is hard to determine if we're doing Zeta as #1 or the original. That, I've watched Zeta so many times, and every single time it's just like I'm watching it for the first time again. The story was so great. A new translation, of course, is the movies. It's based off of the movies that came from the series. Yeah, sometimes Camille Bidon. He's the shit. Double Zeta, I've been trying to find some time to watch this. I am kind of ashamed as a Gundam fanatic because I've had the series for a long time, and with life and growing older, I just have not had the time to sit here and read the Japanese subtitles, unfortunately, for Double Zeta. But Jude Ashta, everybody. Here we go. Char's counterattack. For those who are going to take a gander at this after the stream is over with, I am currently reading the English translation of Char's counterattack, Belter Chica's Children. Please go to my profile, take a look at my link tree. I'm going to be posting my first volume of that probably within the next couple days or so. I've been doing a lot of editing on it. I'm trying to dabble in a lot of different things when it comes to Gundam because I love it all. Char's counterattack, Amuro Ray, Char Aznable, final battle. They put it in the game. It's amazing. Unicorn, Banager. Can't go wrong. Definitely a different setting. I liked how they essentially brought the concept of new types into this series as well. Definitely good. And that's it so far. So, we're going to go right back to the top, everybody. And we're going to start off where it all began. Mobile Suit Gundam. RX-78-2 Gundam with Amuro Ray. Let's do it. Wrong button again. Boy, that was funny. I do. That was hilarious. Okay. Gundam Rising. So, stage 1 of this actual series, I want to just kind of show everybody real quick. You have the option to go above and beyond, and depending on the difficulty that you choose in this game, it's going to be based on the capital that you get. Now, as everyone knows, the harder the difficulty, the harder the game's going to be. So as of right now, because we just don't have essentially the people and the mobile suits or the capital, let's just dive right into what we have and see what we can do with this, and then we'll regroup. We'll see what we can do after the battle. I want to let everyone know too that this is going to be a while before it's done. These missions aren't one of these like 20-minute things. Some missions can take up to an hour and a half to 2 hours based on what you decide you're going to do in it. Unless you're going to powerhouse the game and whatnot. But this is the base version of the game. I know there are some DLCs that everyone could potentially get if they do end up getting this. Or I want to say they've even updated certain versions of this game throughout time just because of the DLCs that came out over in Japan. And like there's little like areas where you can get like capital and EXP and stuff, but I don't really want to do that on this channel. I want to show everybody like what the game is actually about and like what you're expected to do when you play this. So again, we're going to start off with normal because we are essentially riding on bare bones. So let's dive right into this, shall we? Half a century has passed since humanity began expanding into outer space due to population pressure. Enormous artificial cities orbiting near Earth became new homes, placing to raise children, live, and die. It is January of the year Universal Century 0079. The space city farthest from Earth, Side 3, calling itself the Principality of Zeon, begins a war of independence. The Earth Federation kind of sneak up on me there. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to let the Japanese dialogue run through first, and then I'm going to just kind of regurgitate it afterwards, just in case we do have some people that are just kind of listening to this. The Earth Federation, however, kept its space colonies in check through brute force. In fact, its military might was 30 times that of Xeon. The Federation expected a resounding victory. However, my jam.
モビルスーツと呼ばれる人型の新兵器を投入。誘導兵器やレーダー機器を使用不能とするミノフスキー粒子を利用した有視界戦闘で艦隊を主力とする連邦軍を圧倒したのである。
Using humanoid weapons called mobile suits, a Minovsky particles that disable guided weapons and radar, the Xeon forces overwhelmed the Federation in vision-based combat.
このジオンの新戦術により、開戦からわずか40時間で連邦側に立つ3つの宇宙都市は壊滅。
This new Xeon technology was responsible for the destruction of 3 Federation space cities in just 40 hours. Talk about a work week, huh?
凄惨な殺戮劇はこれだけにとどまらず、ジオン軍は暴挙ともいえる行為に出る。
The horrors of this war were just the beginning. However, the Xeon forces turned to an even more devastating tactic. The colony drop. Everybody remembers this, right?
ジオン軍によって壊滅した宇宙都市からスペースコロニーを略奪し、地球へ落下させた。
This new tactic involved taking a colony from a destroyed space city and dropping it onto Earth. See this time and time again. Maybe they should do that now.
ブリティッシュ作戦と呼ばれるこの非道な戦術により、さらに多くの人命は失われ。
Many lives were lost as a result of the Operation British Colony Drop, a diabolic war crime.
開戦1ヶ月余りの戦いで、ジオン公国と地球連邦は総人口の半分を死に至らしめた。
In 1 month of fighting, the Principality and Federation have brought about the death of half the human population.
そして戦争は膠着状態に入り、8ヶ月余りが過ぎた。
The war then entered a stalemate that lasted 8 months. Loading. Here we go, everybody. Stage 1, Gundam Rising. So, Gene, any luck? This is Denim. So if everyone kind of remembers episode 1 of Mobile Suit Gundam, they blew a hole in the inside 7, and then essentially what was happening is they needed to do some recon work, and these two were essentially told to do it. Yes, Chief. This block contains the military facilities. Here we go. Everyone should be on duty, but only one car is out. I don't see anyone. Pickle. They're SD, super deformed. Little chibis. Amuro. Fraubo. Here we go, Haro. Hey, everyone, give me a Haro. Hello, Amuro. Hello, Amuro. Haro, you're cheerful as ever. Thank you, Amuro. I knew it. What are you still doing here? Didn't you hear the evacuation alarm? Evacuation alarm? You mean the siren that has been just going off? Are you saying you didn't hear the announcement? A warship is about to dock, so we have to evacuate. Why? I don't know. Anyway, there's no time, Amuro. Hurry up and get in the car. Fine, fine. You don't have to yell. Man, he was a little jerk, huh? I knew it. That's a Federation mobile suit. Now's our chance. Smash it. Haro. Gene, this is a reconnaissance mission. But if the enemy mobile suit starts moving, you're being paranoid. We can't let this opportunity go to waste. Gene, stand down. Think of Lieutenant Commander Shar. He made his name on the battlefield. Hey, Gene, how dare you disobey a direct order? Stop, Gene. Watch. It'll be a war. I'll be a war hero. Some animation for you guys. Wow. Good for him. Little Zaku, too, took out 2 gun tanks. Heh. The sooner the enemy is defeated, the better. Huh? Is that a Zeon Zaku? Amuro, hurry up. Get in the evacuation capsule. It's no good. The evacuation capsule won't make it. I'll ask him to let us evacuate on the ship that just docked. Bye, Pickle. Thank you for stopping by tonight. Appreciate it. Ah! Frau, you'll get yourself killed. Run, Frau. No. Hang in there. You're strong. You can do it. Run to the port. I'll be right behind you. Okay. Run, Frau, bro. Run, Frau. It's just as I predicted. The Federation has developed its own mobile suits. Here's Shar Aznable, everybody. The man. The myth. The new type. And Chief Petty Officer Denham? Sir, he left the rear guard to provide backup for Gene. Here's Dren. What shall we do, Lieutenant Commander Shar? Denham's been stuck. I'll probably have to take care of this myself. Bring the ship up near Side 7. Yes, sir. This must be a Federation mobile suit? It works. Wow, the energy gain is over 500%. Let's see what I can do. Chief Petty Officer Denham, the enemy's mobile suit has started to move. What? I thought it was just a collection of parts. There's no way it can move all that well. Leave it to me. I love these cutscenes. Stop. Stand down, Gene. Our mission is recon only. What are you talking about? If we don't defeat the enemy here... I apologize, everyone. Something just happened. What are you talking about? If we don't defeat the enemy here... Take this, Zaku scum. Start mission. Can Amuro destroy Denim with his beam rifle? With beam saber, excuse me. Alright, so challenges and conditions. Everyone, you're going to go through some of these. If you do the challenges, then you get more capital. Pretty self-explanatory. So just make sure, like, every mission, you're trying to do those challenges as much as possible. Unless you're just trying to get to a certain point of that mission where you want to be at. But this will also unlock historical events, and you'll be able to see a lot of things that actually happened within the series. Once the stage is loaded, order your units to attack the enemy. After your units perform their respective actions, press circle on an empty area to bring up the system command menu. Selecting pass will transition to your opponent's turn. So self-explanatory, right? So this is turn-based. This is a real-time strategy turn-based game. Alright, everybody. So everything within that blue area right there is where Amuro can essentially move, or any mobile suit can move. As you all can see, we're not actually in one of our mobile suits to start off with. We're with Amuro right now. We're actually in the Gundam playing as Amuro Ray. So one of the cool things that I think I mentioned earlier is we can actually get this mobile suit as long as we perform with it throughout the level. And they have this thing called a get gauge. And what you have to do is you have to build that get gauge up throughout the level in order for that mobile suit to make the production list. And that's exactly what we're going to do in episode 1. Again, those who have stayed with me tonight throughout even all the problems that I had earlier, I want to thank you all for that. It is definitely appreciated. And this is kind of cool. So I definitely thank you all. This has definitely been like an eye-opener for me, wanting to like start off on new things and stuff. So awesome. Let's continue on. So like the menu said, once you click off of the mobile suit, you'll see system commands. Pass is when you end your turn. Conditions, right? You're going to destroy all the enemies. Lose if you are destroyed. Event conditions. Can Amuro destroy Denim with his beam saber? Just seen that. Backlog. Every conversation that has happened. You can even play the cutscene if you want. You can go right back from the beginning again. We're not going to do that because we have spent a lot of time on this kind of stuff. List. You can go to your quest list currently. That big list that had like 215 things on it. We're going to go right up here because this is where we are at this point. And we'll go like right down from the top. Capture lists, which we don't have any capture units yet, so don't worry about it. Team information, we only have the Gundam. Tutorial, you don't need to do that. So you can actually show information. That's cool, right? That gives you the option to see that. You don't have to see all this stuff. You got 2 steps left. Okay. None. We don't want to see any of that because I want you all to be able to see what's going on with these mobile suits. User results. this is where we're at right now with the game. We just seen that in the title screen. Configuration, right? You go back to the game settings to try to take care of whatever else we got. You can give up or you can save. I want to show you all. You should save in game or like in mission as well. I don't intend on going back to the title screen because we're gonna get through all this tonight, I want to say. So we're gonna go right here and we're gonna save. And 1 second, because I want to make sure my mic isn't going to die, everybody. So I'm going to plug this in while I play, because we're like nearing like the 2-hour mark at this point. So. All right, here we go. All right. Nope, I plugged it into the wrong thing. I apologize. All right. Very cool. There. I got a little concerned there for a sec because I thought I heard a beep on my headset. So I don't want that to happen, especially after all the problems I went through today with this. Okay. So who is actually in the live stream still? I've only had one person kind of reply. You can hit me up in the chat if you want. Alright, so let's continue on. I'm still streaming, so let's do it. So we went through all the C system commands. Now I want to show you guys can check stats in game, so we can actually see the Gundam stats. This is a solid mobile suit to start off with. Unfortunately, in mission 1, like phase 1, I guess we'll say, you only have the Vulcans and the Beam Saber, just like in the actual series. There's no beam rifle, so you just have to utilize what we have right here. Again, you can go to development plan. So if we actually do happen to get this mobile suit this turn, then we can probably purchase it. I think that's what we're going to do. So let's see what else we can do. View stats, commands, and then area information. All the white blocks right here. So I think, excuse me, I think blue is attack position, right? And this is all the spaces that this guy can move. So let's take a look here. So we're gonna get right next to Gene. We're gonna utilize the Beam Saber, and you press circle essentially to attack and whatnot. And see how I was saying earlier about the range here? So you got 1 block range with the melee weapons most of the time. So let's hit them hard, and for the stream's sake, we're going to play the battle animation. Should I do it, Amuro? He's terrified, this mobile suit. Love these animations. Oh, he took a hit too. So the enemy can counter every turn as well. If they're within a range that they can use their weapons, they can actually counter and use energy to attack you. So just kind of be careful with that as well. I see a lot of times, with the exception of like big, rifles and stuff that do like a lot of damage. Melee too kind of stinks in this game. Sometimes they can rock your world with it. So the E stands for like we're done. We can't attack anymore. We did our 2 moves, so we did our move towards and then we did our attack. Because we didn't destroy Jean in 1 turn, it automatically ends our turn for us. As you can see, we did quite a bit of damage to him, so it's not going to really matter too much longer. So, and he's still chilling out over here too. You can actually pretty much see the entire terrain here, which is side 7 we're currently on. And you can do this with every single stage. So I think this is kind of cool. We'll go right back into it. And just like it said before, if you go here, you use your system command. I know we're not doing anything else, so we're going to pass this turn onto the enemy. You can react to the enemy's attack in one of 3 ways. You can counter, which meet an enemy attack with one of your own. Defend, which reduces range damage and drops in vigor. Or evade, which decreases chance of the enemy's attack landing. So that's pretty self-explanatory, and we'll go through this. Because I know we're probably going to get this guy in this turn. We're so close to him. He's going to try to do this Heat Hawk again. We're going to hit him with another Beam Saber. And we're going to do battle animation. Jean's done. You monster. Jean, get out of here. Chief Petty Officer Denham. Ugh! Excessive, I think. If I hit that mobile suit's engine, it might destroy the colony. Is this the power of a Federation mobile suit? You bastard! Jean! If the Zaku blows up, Side 7 will lose all of its air. What should I do? You know what to do, Amuro. It's your turn, boy. So everyone will get a chance to see what a range weapon looks like. Unfortunately, Vulcans are not good. And we'll do battle animation again. Federation monster, die. What should I do? Maybe just aim at the cockpit? Okay, so we did a little bit of damage. As we can check again. So event conditions, right? So now we're actually facing Denim. We want to make sure we destroy him with the beam saber. We're gonna pass our turn because we can't do anything else. And we'll counter with the Vulcans again. We'll do another battle animation. And everyone, I just want you all to know, I don't intend on doing battle animations all the time. I just want those who haven't really seen this game to get an opportunity to see like what potentially happens if you choose to do the battle animations within the game. They're cool at times. Maybe you want to check out like a new weapon or a new mobile suit, or see like what certain pilots will say like in battle. Ugh! At this rate, so we kind of hit that point where you got to start watching out for your HP to, you know, go back up. Also, too, when you're a character like this, like one of the main characters outside of the people that are within your warship, each turn they regenerate HP most of the time, I want to say. If they don't, I do apologize. I know in some of these games they do. We don't have the white base or anything like that as of right now to go back to, so we can't really heal. I'm hoping this beam saber attack is going to destroy him because he only has 1300 health left, so let's take a gander. Battle animation on. And boom, right? Challenge completed. You saw that plus 5,000. So those points get converted into capital at the end of the mission. What? Ugh! Denim, have a good one. Did I do it? Vigor. Every hit you land will build vigor. Conversely, miss a hit or sustain damage and vigor will decrease. If it falls low enough, you will become dazed and be unable to attack or counter. Raise vigor to super high and all successful attacks will be critical strikes. So there's your exact definition of vigor. Make sure we're always trying to dodge, we're always trying to make a hit, we're not trying to miss, because I don't honestly think I've ever been dazed in this game, but let's not even get to that point. Okay, so we killed the two Zaku 2s on side 7. So, what exactly happened last night? I prayed for a successful operation. Instead, your inefficiency and incompetence spoiled my dinner. We've caught wind of the Federation's Operation V, Vice Admiral. So you got Shar Aznavour and Dazzle Zabi. What? Operation V? Heh, as expected from the Red Comet. Alright, what else? We are on our way back and are out of ammo. You need to resupply? Very well. I'll see that you have what you need. Thank you, sir. We'll also need to replace 3 Zakus. 3 Zakus were lost on your watch? Yes, Vice Admiral. Of the 3, 2 were taken out by a single Federation mobile suit. Very well. You'll have your Zakus. I don't care how, but get that Operation V data. Yes, sir. I'll give it my all, sir. He's so cocky. I love it. How's this loading of the mobile suits coming along? Captain, thankfully one pilot is manning the Gundam. We are loading the gun cannons and gun tanks as quickly as possible. Who is the pilot? I haven't yet confirmed the pilot's identity. Look into that later. As soon as the civilians have been taken aboard, launch the white base from side 7. Yes, sir, but the white base's pilot is... excuse me? I only have a cruiser class license, but if you need someone to fly this thing, you are? Mirai Yashimiya. Ah, yes. You're from the Yashima family. Captain, we finished loading the gun cannons and gun tanks, sir. Tell the Gundam pilot to get rid of all the mobile suit parts we can't use. Understood, Captain. Hello, anyone still here? There's Sayla. Anyone? No survivors. What? Stop right there. Huh? Very brave. You aren't military or even guerrilla. Don't move. I'll shoot. You look just like... But Artesia is. Please remove your helmet. Out of my way. Brother? That was a Zeon. Are you alright? Yeah. I have to get rid of these mobile suit parts. You should take refuge on the white base. Okay. That was my brother. I know. Who is in there? He said his name was Amuro. I don't know who that is. Maybe he's a pilot doing some testing at Side 7? Contact the Gundam. Make sure it covers the white base when we leave. Yes, sir. Status, Mirai? It will take a little longer for the engines to reach their critical point. Captain, the Gundam is being piloted by a child. What? That kid, it must be Amuro. You know him? Not very well. He's known around Side 7 for being good with machines. And this Amuro's the one who defeated the Zeon Zakus? The Gundam's performance made it possible. Captain, I'll get him out of there. Our regular pilots are torn to shreds. None of the wounded are even in good enough shape to fight. He's a bit of green for his first battle, but when you consider history, boys as young as 15 would fight. Very well, let him do it. Sir, Amuro's judgment is on the mark. Leave it to him. Yes, sir. He's exited the docking bay. You're too tense. Stay calm. The computer will compensate for any problems. Oh, thank you. To Amuro and the Gundam. A Zeon ship may be waiting to ambush us. Be careful. Got it. Can you carefully check each block one more time? Okay. Large missiles are closing in on us. That won't do. Bright, take command. Yes, sir, Captain. All blocks, prepare to intercept. Bright, the core fighter's ready to launch. Ryu, are you sure you can do this? I'm a pilot cadet. Guess it's better than nothing. Good old Bright. Full of enthusiasm. Bright, should I shoot down those missiles? Leave it to me. I'm counting on you. Don't get too close or you'll get hit. Be careful. It'll be alright. The Gundam has a beam rifle. Amuro, make sure you use it effectively. Got it. I'll see what I can do. I should be able to take out one or two missiles. Alright, so now it's sortie time, everybody. We're going to pick our group. So the 2 green boxes, usually you can play with 2 warships and everyone that's aboard those warships. Unfortunately, because we just started the game, we only have 1 warship and we're going to get into sortie as of right now. Sortie groups. After you form your groups, they can be deployed at sortie points throughout the map. Note that warships cannot be deployed if there is no compatible terrain. Depending on the stage, you may be able to deploy up to 2 groups. That's awesome. So you press circle on the group you want to take. Here's your warship right here. You can press the right stick. You can move around, see what's going on everywhere. We're just going to do that. We're going to confirm our position. And we're going to start the stage. Start the stage. Destroy all missiles, and our challenge is, can Amuro destroy at least 3 missiles? For the stream's sake tonight, because we're pushing like 2.5 hours as of right now, we had a very long introduction, and it's been a very kind of long night with trying to get this stuff set up as my first stream. I'm going to shut this down for the evening. I'm going to save with you all right now. And then when we get back into this again, we're going to finish this mission up and we're going to go to the next mission afterwards. So I wanted to thank everyone that was able to kind of join me tonight. Even if no one has joined, everything has been recorded and streamed on Twitch. I cannot wait to continue to do this. Again, there were some issues today. Not the best start to my Twitch journey, I guess, when it comes to Gundam stuff. But I want to bid everyone a good evening. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great night, guys.